Hey guys, today we're going to learn how to draw Niffty. I'm going to try to keep it really simple so it's really easy to follow along. Let's go ahead and get started. First things first, we're going to start out by looking at our reference. This time I've chosen my own drawing for the reference image. Now let's really get into it. Step 1, as usual, I'm going to start out with a very large circle. This is just going to indicate her general head. Then we're going to go across horizontally, nearly in the middle, slightly curved. This is going to show me exactly where the bottom of her eye is going to rest. Now, from this point, we're going to make a little U shape over that line, creating the shape of her eye. From each little corner, you can make a little triangle coming out like this, and that will be her eyelashes, and you can go right underneath and emphasize that bottom line. After we've got those big eyelashes poking out, we can go ahead and start shaping her actual eyelash shape. So starting from this side, you can go up and just make a little gap and follow your previous line, just with a little bit of space in between. And that's where her eyelashes are going to be. Let's go ahead and clean this up. Let me take this time to remind you to like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. It really helps out the channel. And you'll become a stargazer where you can learn all you want about art with me. Back to focusing on the drawing. I'm going to do a little V shape right here on this side. And then once again on this side, a little doo-doo, little V. And then just simply erase the inside of that V. And that will give you the shape of Nifty's eyelashes. Perfect. Now we can move on and do the iris, which is just a semicircle. I'm going to decide to have her looking the exact same way as the reference photo. So we're just going to go right around here like that. And then another inner circle for her pupil. It can get cut off a little bit at the bottom, but that's okay. It'll look something like this, shaded in a little bit so you can see what you're doing. And that is Nifty's eye already set up for you. It's perfect. Now the distance between her eye and her mouth is about here. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little shape underneath it. It's almost like a banana. It's going to reach almost all the way up here. So start from this side and then it'll end on this side over here. So we'll start over here and there's the beginning of the banana. And you're going to want to connect it downwards, like so, into a nice little banana shape. Next, I'm going to quickly shade in her little red cheek circles. So they're going to go right around the corners of her mouth and underneath her eye, right here and here. And they're just little circle shapes. They're really simple. After I've gotten those in a generally good spot, I'm going to measure from her mouth down, trying to match the reference photo. So it's going to be right about here is where the bottom of her chin is going to be. We're going to go ahead and outline that. General little round shape. She's very circular. Now you're going to see me shape out the hair on this side of the face. However, you will also see me erase it because it's not really cooperating. And I do want to remind you, it's totally okay to erase. In fact, most of the time, you're going to have to. This time, I'm going to start out over here and shape her face a little bit, give her a cheek, and try to connect it to her chin. I'm going to go ahead and clean up the chin line and connect it a little further up here on this side as well. And next, I'm going to go ahead and jump around to the teeth, which is just a simple zigzag motion up and down. You can draw each tooth individually and make them different shapes and curved and such, but I'm trying to keep this really simple. Trying to clean up a little more of that residue from that hair mistake earlier. Go ahead and erase that out. And now I'm going to apologize ahead of time because I know that part of it is going off screen and I didn't notice that until I was editing, so there wasn't much I could do about it, but I'm just framing up where I think her hair should lay. I do kind of fix that in the next clip. However, it may happen again, and I apologize. Niffty has a really cute tuffet of hair on top of her head on the side. So what we're going to do is we're going to check out the reference photo and decide at what angle the tuffet is. It's about right here. So you can make that same line and decide exactly where her little fluff is going to be. So we're going to go ahead and sketch out the little fluff very roughly and then get her hair swoop. It goes up and down and around and flips it back up a little bit. Go ahead and clean up these little tuffets. They're very angular. They're very sharp angles and triangular. And the best way I can explain on how I know how to break down any of these things is you need to be able to look at an item or a character and break it down into its most simple shapes. Niffty's design is full of triangles and circles, and once you can see those shapes, it becomes very easy to break down any character design into those shapes. Her hair is very angular, so we're going to actually have a lot more straight lines than I normally would do in hair. It's going to go straight down on this side, and I'm doing the same thing on the other side, just kind of measuring where I'm supposed to be. And once again, you're going to see it cut off, but I am sketching in her little curly Q. I accomplished this by simply doing a spiral shape and tracing around it. Now back to working on the side from before. I went ahead and decided where her hair is going to lay on her face. And she's going to have a bit of fluff right here. It is a lot of more triangles. And then this is going to flip outward and slightly up, like so. And then I'll go ahead and sketch in the rest of her hairline, which also is going to flip upwards and kind of curl. It's going to go off the page a little bit, but that's okay. And then just a little indicator for me for where the rest of her hairline is going to be. We'll go ahead and add in a little bit of extra fluff right here next to her face, where it's layered on top of each other. And then we'll go over here, and it's going to be almost the same sort of zigzag kind of pattern to define the two sections of her hair on top. Now it's hard to see, but I'm going around the bottom and just sectioning out the ends of her hair. They're very blocky and square, so that should be pretty easy to pick up on how to break those up. I'm going to go ahead and line in her neck. It rests right here. And Niffty has a big bandana, which is a very big round shape. So I'm going to go ahead and just sketch that in roughly. And her little shoulder, which is basically just a circle. After redefining her bandana that goes right across her neck like this, we'll go ahead and add the little ties of the bandana poking out right behind her shoulder like this. Now I'm going to go ahead and go in and redefine everything, make sure I like the shapes, and make sure everything is looking good. This is the final touch-ups phase before you do any line art or color, making sure that everything is exactly how I want it to be. I use this last step to make any final adjustments because once I put ink down, I can't go back. And here it is, my drawing of Niffty, all completed. You can stop right here if you wanted to. You don't have to do line art, but I'm going to. So I'll let y'all watch that sped up and I'll be right back. Alright, here's my drawing of Niffty from Hazbin Hotel, all lined out and looking good. Thanks for watching, Stargazers. See you next time. Don't forget, like and subscribe.